Imagine a woman on trial for her life. The courtroom is packed. Everyone is staring. They call her the German princess. Pause, she says she is a noblewoman from across the sea. But the authorities say she is allegedly a liar, a cheat, and already married. This is London in the year 1663. Her name is Mary. And this is the story of one of history's most famous con artists. It is a story of lies, love, and a performance that fooled an entire city. She wrote her own story in pamphlets. The whole country read them. Was she a victim? Or was she the person allegedly responsible for the deception? Let me tell you what happened. First, let's go back to where she began. Mary was born in Canterbury, England. This was around 1642. Her life was not grand. Her father was a musician. As a young woman, she married a shoemaker. His name was John Stedman. That marriage did not last. She left him. Later, she married a surgeon in Dover. His name was Mr. Day. But she left that life behind too. Mary wanted something more. She wanted a different story. So she went to London. It was a big, busy city full of strangers. You could be anyone you wanted to be. And that is exactly what Mary decided to do. One spring morning in 1663, she walked into a London tavern. She was not alone. A parson was with her. He was being too friendly. Mary needed help. She asked the tavern keeper, Mr. King, for a room. He agreed. Now, Mr. King and his wife noticed something. Their new guest was different. She had beautiful jewels. She wrote letters to people overseas. She spoke with a strange accent. She told them she was a German lady of high birth. She was waiting for money from her estate. The Kings were very impressed. They had an idea. They introduced Mary to Mrs. King's younger brother. His name was John Carleton. He was only 18 years old. He was a lawyer's clerk. He was young and easily charmed. John met the mysterious German woman. He fell in love very fast. He believed she was a princess. He believed she was rich. He wanted to marry her. Mary saw her chance. She played the part perfectly. She spoke many languages. She acted like a noblewoman. John's family was excited. They thought their son was marrying into money and title. The wedding was arranged quickly. In fact, they had to do it twice. The first time, they did not have the right papers. But soon, Mary Motors became Mary Carleton. After the wedding, everyone waited for the money. Mary's wealth from Germany was supposed to arrive. But it never came. Days passed. Then weeks. John's family grew suspicious. They started asking hard questions. Who was she really? They began to investigate. And they found the truth. Pause, Mary was not a German princess. She was Mary from Canterbury. And she was allegedly already married to someone else. John's family was furious. They felt cheated and foolish. They went to the authorities. They accused Mary of a very serious crime. Bigamy. That means marrying someone when you are already married to another person. In 1663, the punishment for bigamy could be death. Mary was arrested. She was sent to prison to wait for her trial. Now, something strange happened while she was in prison. Mary became famous. People were fascinated by her story. The German princess was the talk of the town. According to court records, about 500 people came to see her in jail. They wanted to look at the woman who fooled everyone. She was a celebrity in a prison cell. Mary did not stay quiet. She decided to tell her own story. She wrote pamphlets to defend herself. She said she was the victim. She said the Carleton family trapped her. She said they wanted her imaginary money. She said young John pretended to be a lord to win her. In her writing, she was clever and funny. She almost winked at the reader. She admitted she exaggerated her wealth. But she said she only did it because the family was so greedy. She wrote, "It was very difficult to personate greatness for so long a time." She was proud of her performance. She asked people to admire her skill. She said she was truly German. She said she was innocent of bigamy. She said her first marriages were not real or were over. Her writing was a performance, just like her life. Meanwhile, John Carleton told his side. He also wrote pamphlets. He said he was young and naive. He said Mary was a brilliant actress. He said her manners and her languages left no room for suspicion. He felt blindsided. His family felt robbed. They took her to court. The trial was at the Old Bailey. It was the big court in London. The room was full. The Carleton family needed to prove Mary had another husband. They found her first husband, the shoemaker John Stedman. But he lived in Canterbury. He would not come to London to testify unless they paid him for travel. They did not pay. So he never came. The family had only one witness. That witness was not strong. The evidence was messy. The jury listened. And in the end, they found Mary not guilty. Pause, she was free. She had won. Her performance in the courtroom worked. The Carleton family's case fell apart. Mary walked out of the Old Bailey a free woman. But her story was not over. She was free from the bigamy charge. But she was now legally married to John Carleton. And under the law at that time, a husband owned everything his wife had. Mary asked the court for her jewels back. The court said no. Her jewels now belonged to her husband, John. She had escaped the gallows, but she left with nothing. Mary liked the spotlight. After the trial, she even went on stage. A play was written about her called The German Princess. She played herself. People paid to see the real con artist act like herself. It was a sensation. But the famous writer Samuel Pepys saw the play. He said it was not very good. Life after fame was hard for Mary. She had no money. Her name was known all over England, but for a scandal. What could she do? She turned to crime again. This time, it was not pretending. It was stealing. Years later, in 1671, she was caught. She stole a silver tankard. The punishment was harsh. She was sent across the ocean to Jamaica as a prisoner. But Mary did not stay there. She came back to England illegally. She went back to stealing. She was caught again. This time, it was the end. In 1673, she was tried for theft. This time, the evidence was clear. This time, there was no dramatic performance to save her. The court found her guilty. The sentence was death by hanging. Mary Carleton was executed in 1673. Her long run of performances was over. Her story did not die with her. Writers kept telling it. They called her the German princess for decades. They wrote books pretending to be her biography. They added stories of other alleged crimes. They said she was a thief even as a child. They could not stop writing about her. One writer said she told her lies so often, she started to believe them herself. Why does her story still matter today? Pause, because we still see people like Mary. Think about Anna Delvey in New York. She pretended to be a German heiress. She allegedly scammed rich people and banks. Her story became a Netflix show. We are still fascinated by clever individuals who deceive others. We always have been. Mary's life shows us the limits placed on women long ago. In the 1600s, women had very few choices. They could not easily divorce. They could not own property if married. For a woman with no money, marriage was often the only path. Sometimes, a desperate woman might tell a very big lie to survive. Mary took that to an extreme. She was also a woman ahead of her time in another way. She understood the power of the media. She wrote her own story. She controlled her own image. In a time of pamphlets and gossip, she became her own publicist. She turned her actions into a spectacle. In many ways, she was one of the first individuals to gain notoriety for their crimes. So, was justice served? For the bigamy, the court said no. She was acquitted. But for her later crimes of theft, yes. The law finally caught up with Mary Carleton. She could not talk her way out of her final sentence. Her story reminds us that a life built on lies is fragile. It might bring fame for a while, but it often ends in tragedy. Mary wanted people to look at her. She wanted to be admired for her cleverness. And in a strange way, she got her wish. We are still looking at her, more than 300 years later. We are still trying to figure out who she really was. She remains, as she wanted to be, a mystery. A complex individual, both real and fake. Thank you so much for listening to this story with me today. If you were fascinated by the tale of the woman who claimed to be a German princess, let me know in the comments below. Have you heard of modern individuals who have allegedly committed similar deeds? Share your thoughts. If you enjoyed this, please give this video a like. It helps more people find these stories. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more true stories from history. Until next time, take care.